Oh, wait.
What? Oh, hello! Hey guys, sorry, just having a little technical issue.
Never mind.
Are you sure?
I was just going to try and make sure you were on the right internet, but...
Whatever. Okay. Hey everybody, hey
Hi.
house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 22 updates and spoilers. Can you all hear me? I just want to make sure that this is working. Okay, yes. Hello, yay. Okay, so our house guests of the day are Daniel Gutierrez and Connie Amaya. Thank you so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. Yes, I know it's going to be a tough spoiler today to go through. I'm sure you guys are all keeping up with the Power of Veto results. But before we get there, we have a lot of other things to talk about. Like, first, I want to thank everybody who super chatted yesterday because you guys are awesome. So we've got Sam Jobin, S. Dean, Traval K, APB 1969, Jessica Noe. I still find ways to mess up people's names even after they clarify them. The Charity 123, Anita Starr, Enigma TL00. We've got Phil D, John McBroom, Debbie Saunders, Julie Smith and Nene, Rachel McClung, and Book and Quirks. Thank you all so much for the support. Seriously, we could not do this without you. I don't want to do this without you. So let's get started. All right, when we left off yesterday, they had just finished the Safety Suite competition. It was the last one of the season because they're going to be moving on to a new room and a new twist soon. I wonder what it's going to be. But the players were Enzo, Nicole, Danny, and Memphis. And like I mentioned yesterday, Tyler also still had his VIP pass, but because he's the HOH this week, he was not eligible. Yeah, eligible. That sounded so weird. He was not eligible to participate. So we found out that Enzo won the Safety Suite, and he chose to use his +1 on Christmas. So she will be getting a punishment at some point. I don't know what it is. I don't know when it's starting. I thought it would have started by now, but haven't seen it yet, so keep an eye on that. But this was an interesting choice for Enzo because I don't think they're in any alliances together, right? I don't think so. It's hard to keep track of all of Enzo's alliances because he's in like a million. But I'm pretty sure Christmas's only ones are, like her only official ones are like the Memphis Alliance and her final two with Tyler, right? I don't think she's in any other ones. But Enzo wanted to use this opportunity to make sure he's good with Christmas as well, because she's one of the few people that he's not already aligned with. All right. Oh, thank you guys for the super chats. I'm going to thank you all together at the end. Make sure I get all of you. Thank you so much. So after the competition, Day and Danny were in the photo bedroom, and Day seems very surprised / annoyed that Enzo picked Christmas as his +1. She says it felt really random. Apparently, she talked to him before the competition and was hoping that he would pick her, but she guesses, I guess it's a good thing that we're not going to be exposed, that we're working together. I mean, they're in 2 alliances together, right? They've got Connect 4 and they have Slick 6. But she's not happy about his choice. She thought she was going to be safe this week. So Danny says, yeah, it's really weird because Christmas didn't even seem like that excited about being picked. So weird. They were also talking about how they think that maybe Memphis threw the competition so that he wouldn't have to show his cards. And I think that's definitely possible, right? Because he's kind of playing the middle still at this point. I mean, we know clearly he's working with the majority alliance, which is basically like everybody except for Janelle and Kaser, and then people like Kevin who aren't really like with that group, but he thinks he is with that group, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's kind of sad to see. But anyway, Memphis, like if he had won, I'm sure he would not have picked Janelle and Kaser, but he also didn't want to blow it with them just in case one of them wins HOH next week. So it would make sense for him to throw it. But anyway, Enzo was up in the HOH room with Tyler, and they're both annoyed that Day is pissed about Enzo's +1 choice. So Tyler's like, just tell her you didn't want to sell out the alliance, meaning Slick Six, because that's one that they're all in together. So Enzo's like, yeah, I told her that it was going to be her or Christmas. Yo, stop getting jealous. Yo, get the F out of here. Yo, those are all like real yos that he said. Oh my God. So he said, stop blabbering your mouth and win something. He's really souring on Day at this point too. Day is not in a good spot game-wise, and I don't think she realizes how much danger she's in at this point. Because right now, she is like enemy number 3. It's like Janelle, Kaser, and then Day. Ugh. So Enzo says, in his eyes, like it's all about him, Tyler, Cody, and David. He feels like he can trust them. It's a guy's alliance. It was funny too because there was this one conversation. I forgot who Enzo was talking to, but he was like, "My game is so different this year. Like I'm going for all the competition wins, and I'm working with the girls instead of the guys." But like, he's working with girls, but he's more loyal to the guys' alliance. It's crazy. So Enzo is also saying, yeah, I wanted to use this opportunity to gain an ally in Christmas. So then, Christmas walks in and she's all happy and thanks Enzo for giving her the +1. And she says, this was such a surprise. I'm so grateful. Excuse me. Grateful is pretty much a curse word on this show. So I don't want to hear it ever again. I feel like I cringe anytime I hear it or see it. So Enzo's like, oh yeah, I just love your positive attitude. Did you watch season 19? What? But he says he loves her positive attitude and that she's like cooking all the time. It's great. Okay, so then Christmas is like, I'm more excited for the punishment than I am for the safety. Spoken like a true member of the Majority Alliance. I mean, really, like, not everybody has that privilege of feeling safe. So some people would have actually appreciated the safety this week. So, yeah, Christmas leaves the room. Tyler and Enzo continue to chat. And they're talking about how they are really sketched out by Day right now. They want to see how she's going to react to this. Enzo picking Christmas instead of her. And they're like, why was she, why was she so worried about the safety in the first place? She's in our alliance. Tyler is the HOH. So, like, why is she not feeling comfortable? It's not making sense to them. But they agree, you know what? Day is just feeling really guilty because she is spreading stuff all over the house. She's playing everybody, and she's starting to get worried. I think she's not as worried as she should be. So anyway, Enzo says somebody else is going to get rid of you, not us. Oh my God! It's just like a classic Enzo line. And I want Day to do well, but like that line was really funny. So then Enzo says, now there is an all guys alliance, but when Day brought it up, it didn't exist yet. Honestly, though, that's not what David told her. Because when she asked David, are you in an all-guys alliance? He said, yeah. And that was, like, before it was officially established. But they laughed how, like, Day forced the guys to work together. I'm not laughing. I don't think it's funny. So, anyway, Tyler says this week is going to be so straightforward that people are going to start playing 2, 3, 4 weeks ahead, which is true. A lot of times when you have a week like this where there's like a major target up on the block, everybody else starts just like jumping ahead to what's going to happen like the following week or even the week after, since they have 2 huge targets in Janelle and Enzo. Not Enzo. In Janelle and Kaser. So there's going to be a lot of scheming that doesn't have to do with this week. So it's interesting, though, to see sometimes it does take over the current week. So, I mean, you never know. You never know what could happen. But Enzo says whoever doesn't go this week out of Janelle and Kaser is going to be the target next week. Don't say that. Okay, so Tyler says he already talked to Kaser and Janelle, which is a bummer to hear because that means that Janelle's conversation happened while the feeds were down. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like that hour leading up to the safety suite competition, which I don't know why we don't get to see that hour, because a lot of times there's been like really important information and events happening during that time, and we don't get to see it, and that sucks. But Tyler says it went well with Kaser because Kaser owned that he was talking crap and like mentioning that Tyler was in all these alliances, but Janelle did not. And now I feel like I'm watching an episode of Real Housewives. Just own it. You know, you got to own it. So Lisa Rinna, yeah. A little while later, Janelle and Kaser are chatting in the key bedroom, and Kaser is talking about how he needs to recharge. He can't always be on and like super social. He says it's exhausting for him. And I feel that. That is introvert 101, right? So he's having a tough time, but he says he's good now. He just needs to come to terms with the whole like everything happens for a reason thing. He says we'll figure out what that is and we'll go with it. I mean, Janelle and Kaser know that they had to win HOH this week or they were going to be in big trouble. So Janelle says, yeah, I talked to Tyler. He's super nice. He said he's got to do what the house wants. Blech. What the house wants is like such a gross phrase in Big Brother. You hate to hear it. So Kaser says the hard part is people avoiding you like you have some sort of disease. So sad. They're not even up on the block yet, and everybody's avoiding them. But Kaser makes a good point. He's like, people didn't want to associate with us when we were safe. How are they going to treat us now that we're not? That's so sad. I just want like everyone to be nice to them. So they realize this is the third time that they are going up on the block together. Season 6, Jennifer put them up. Season 7, Danny Reyes put them up. Miss you, Danny. So yeah, they're prone to go up on the block together because they're such a power duo. But Janelle says this situation is unfortunate because she really would have wanted to work with Tyler, but then he linked up with all the people in the camera room, the photo room, whatever. So, you know, like Cody, Danny, Nicole F., all of them. And Kaser agrees. He says it wasn't in the cards for them. Can you imagine how freaking sick that would have been if Janelle and Kaser were working with Tyler? Oh my God, would have been amazing. So it keeps coming back to Kaser and Janelle, people saying that they were not going to be the target the first week, and they became the target because they saved each other with the safety suite competition. Now, Kaser's like, I don't buy that. There's no way. We were being targeted from like day one. And you know what? He's right, because Cody originally was talking about putting up Kaser and Keisha with Janelle as like a potential replacement nominee or something. So he's right about that. So Janelle was saying, yeah, but Tyler wasn't really targeting us, which is true because Tyler did not link up with Cody right away. He didn't know what Cody's plans were right away. But yeah, Cody was targeting Kaser. And Janelle says, when you're coming after Kaser, you're coming after me. Oh, and Kaser's like, don't steal my lines. They are officially like the mom and dad of Big Brother now. Oh my God. So Janelle says, hopefully whichever one of them stays this week is going to be able to like fly under the radar and like get in with other groups and go deep into this game. Kaser says we're just going to have to adapt, whichever one of us stays. I hope so. So then the feeds went down for the nomination ceremony, and as expected, Tyler put Janelle and Kaser up on the block. So then a little while later, Day is chatting with Tyler in the HOH room. So many H's. So they're chatting in the HOH room, and they agree, this is an easy week. It's a cakewalk. Boo! So Tyler says, I trust the group. I trust the process. That's how I made it to the end last time. And Day says, yeah, I'm following your lead on that. I almost feel like Tyler is trying to tell Day, like, we know that you're being shady, and I'm just telling you that I made it to the end the first time I was on by like trusting my alliance, trusting level 6. Look how far I got. So like, stick with the crew. That's basically what it felt like. So then Tyler was talking about how he feels like he has a lot to prove to Bailey this time. He wants to make sure they're going to be good. And Day starts talking about this week specifically. She brings up, Janelle and Tyler are both really good in veto competitions. She says this one is going to be like the clash of the titans. So she's like, okay, if Janelle wins and takes herself off the block, then obviously Kaser is going to be the target. But who would you put up next to him? And this is something that she asked him when they first talked after Tyler won the HOH. And Tyler didn't give her an answer then. And guess what? He didn't this time either. Ugh. So Tyler says, I need to talk to the group about it, but it wouldn't really matter who goes up because we're going to have the votes anyway, no matter what. So it's interesting. He definitely does not trust Day, and I guess he's concerned that she would go around and tell people his answer or even the person that he would put up as a replacement nominee, because he did tell other people that he would probably put up Kevin as a pawn if necessary. So clearly he does not trust Day. I mean, I know we've heard him say that to other people, but we're seeing it in action now. So then they talk about how Janelle should be the one to go if the nominations stay the same. They feel like she's a bigger threat. She's better at competitions. And this is something that's been coming up over and over. They're trying to figure out what the next twist is going to be now that the safety suite is ending. So Tyler's thinking it could be America's vote. I know a lot of people have been saying that. And they're thinking, you know what? If Janelle's in this house, America's going to vote to give her some sort of power. But guess what? Like, we give it to Kaser too. Either one of them. So I don't know what the next twist is going to be, but they're really thinking it could be America's vote. I think they're also just trying to justify why they want Janelle to go. But, So then Danny and Nicole were in the lounge scheming again. So Danny says she feels like when they get down to the end, to those last competitions, she doesn't think they're going to be able to beat Christmas or Tyler or maybe even Enzo, because Enzo has really been pulling out some wins so far, and it's early in the season still. So she says those are some people that are going to have to go. I mean, when you think about it, like almost everyone's going to have to go. But this sounds sketchier because these are people that they're working with. So Danny says, I really like Tyler. He's super nice. She says that she likes playing with him. He's super loyal, but he's only 2 years out of this house. He was on season 20. So it's a lot easier for him to just kind of like snap back into game mode. She says she hasn't played in 8 or 9 years. So it's been a while for her. And Nicole's like, yeah, but I feel like you're not out of the loop. You're running this house pretty much. And Danny says, honestly, I feel like I am sometimes too. Okay. But she says she's never called into the diary room. So she's thinking like, how is it possible that I'm actually running things if Big Brother doesn't want to hear what I have to say? And I've noticed Danny has mentioned the diary room so many times. And I mean, like, it is a good way to maybe kind of figure out, like, what's going on, like, who's important, maybe who's working together, who's got, like, scheming going on. But also, I feel like that could really mess you up, if you're, like, basing your information on who's called into the diary room, that could really give you some false info. But anyway, then Nicole says that she feels like she's walking on eggshells all the time because of Janelle. No one was talking about Janelle. Why are you bringing this up? Why? So anyway, last night, most of the house guests were playing games together after dinner. They were throwing a ball around. They were playing charades for like a while. But the have-nots were hanging out in their room for a bunch of it. Definitely like for the beginning part. So that's Janelle, Bailey, Enzo, and Cody. And Kaser was chilling with them for a while too, because he just like did not feel like playing these reindeer games. So then Cody and Kaser did end up going and playing charades for a while, but Enzo wasn't feeling it, and Bailey and Janelle were not feeling it either. So the gamers were just having a great time, like laughing and screaming, like squealing with delight. So then Janelle and Bailey were chatting in the bathroom area, and Janelle comments on how rowdy the other house guests are. She's like, I'm freaking sitting here getting ready for a power veto competition to save my life in this game. And Bailey's like, yeah, they sure are having the time of their lives in there, in that other room. So Bailey says, Nicole's probably terrified right now, though. And Janelle says, she should be. Because if she stays, she's gunning for Nicole. She's a liar and a backstabber and a snake. Ah! So after the games were over, Day and Nicole were chatting in the comic bedroom. Oh my God, I just remembered what this is. So there's been a lot of chatter the last few days about David flirting with Day and potentially like having a crush on her, being into her. And I could see it. I could definitely see it. And I think that Day might possibly be interested in him as well. But can we just have one GD season with no showmances, please? Like, date after the show. That's wonderful. I'll be so happy for you. But, like, don't do it. Especially not Day. Like, I'm rooting for her, and I want her to do well. And I just know that a showmance is probably not going to help. So, anyway, Nicole says that she and Danny were asking David all about Day and how he feels about her. And he said that he likes to flirt with her. So Danny then joins them. They're all talking about this like potential flirtmance. It's all very like fun and playful. And Day is like, you guys are going to get me evicted from this house. And she says she does not need a distraction like that right now. And they're like, we're just joking around. We're just joking. And then Danny says, showmances get you far. Ask Nicole. But Nicole is like laughing and saying it worked for me. So they're telling Day, like, it's just good fun. Don't worry about it. So then Danny leaves and Bailey joins them. And Nicole says to Bailey, hey, like, you met your man on here. And Bailey's like, yeah, and it effed up my game. Like, that really screwed up my game. And Day says, oh, Nicole is laughing like, oh, I won and I got my man. And then Bailey says, yeah, but it took her a few times and a few boys. And she wasn't saying it in like a mean way. She was just like joking around with them like they were before. And she's saying like, this Day can't be doing this like showmance, flirtmance, whatever you want to call it. It's too risky for her. And Nicole's like, it's just a flirtmance. But she says she'll stop joking around like this if it's really bugging Day. So then a few minutes later, we're back to Day, Nicole, and Danny all together in the comic bedroom. And, again, Nicole and Danny are promising Day it was all in good fun. Don't be worried. Like, we weren't telling the whole house that you guys are going to be a showmance or whatever. So then Day and Nicole were telling Danny, I think Bailey was like actually pissed at Nicole for putting Day's game in jeopardy with this whole thing. So then Nicole is like, and then she said, which hurt my feelings, she said something about me winning and it took me a couple of tries and a couple of guys. Oh my God. Again, Nicole starts making it about her when it's not. But just like on top of that, Nicole took this phrase from Bailey and turned it into an even catchier phrase because Bailey did not say a couple of tries and a couple of guys, but like the way that just works so well together, oh my God. So, okay, oh boy, here comes Nicole being the victim and crying again. And she actually starts crying. And Danny's like, oh, that was not nice what Bailey said at all. Like, Nicole's really sensitive about that. That's not okay. You know what's weird, though? Nicole didn't care when Danny basically made the same joke just a few minutes earlier. She didn't care then. She didn't care a while ago when Memphis was like, oh, I didn't know Nicole was such an expert showmancer. She doesn't care when, like, other people say it. But now all of a sudden Bailey makes a comment about it and Nicole starts crying and is all upset. What's the deal with that? So it just makes you feel like, is she trying to use this? Like, is she trying to make more of this, like to use this as an angle, like against Bailey? So Danny says, oh, Bailey's on slop this week. That's probably what it is. Slop makes people more intense. And then Nicole says, I don't want Bailey to go to Janelle and tell her that I'm trying to ruin Day's game. Why are you involving Janelle in this? Janelle is not involved in this situation, and that's all Nicole can think about. Woo! What the hell? So later, Bailey and Day were chatting in the HOH room, and Bailey's like, oh, I miss you, because these two have been trying to distance themselves a bit so that people won't think they're like super tight. Ladies, that ship has sailed. The train has left the station. Everybody knows that you two are tight, so you may as well just enjoy each other's company instead of like being miserable. Everybody already knows that you're working together. So Day tells Bailey, you made Nicole cry. And Bailey is shocked. She's like, how? Why? I know, right? So Day says that it was because of the couple tries, couple guys comment. And Bailey's like, is that not true? And Day's like, yeah, it is. But Nicole is sensitive about it. It's got nothing to do with you. And I just want to say, too, there's nothing wrong with that statement. She's not saying, like, you're a hoe. Or, like, you were a hoe and using that to win the game. You know, she was just saying it took you a couple of tries to win the game, and you dated a couple of guys before you met your fiance. So Nicole is just taking it all wrong. But, yeah. Bailey's asking, how do I handle the situation? Because Bailey's already kind of ticked off with Nicole, because Nicole has come up to her multiple times and been like, you're close to Janelle. Should I be worried about you? Like, are you going to come after me because I'm not cool with Janelle? And that did not sit well with Bailey. So Bailey says, I wasn't trying to offend Nicole. I haven't even seen her seasons. I'm just going off of what she told me about her experiences on the show. So Bailey says she's been like staying in her room all day because she's cranky as hell. She's on slop, so she's hungry. She's PMSing. And she says, I'll apologize to Nicole if I offended her. And Day says, it's not your fault. You do not owe her an apology. But, you know, this is not the real world. We're playing Big Brother. So for game purposes, like, you should probably talk to Nicole about it tomorrow. So then Bailey is like, okay, I see what you're saying, but like, why is it okay for Nicole to like tease you and talk about you and David all day long? Like, that's fine. But then I say one thing to her about her past showmances or whatever, and she can't handle it. Yeah. It's a classic case of she can put it out there, but she can't take it. She can dish it, but she can't take it. So, yeah, that was a whole mess. Too much last night. So then this morning, they drew the players for the Power Veto competition. Christmas was hosting. It's the summer of Christmas. And we've got Tyler, Janelle, and Kaser playing, of course. And then the three extras were Memphis, Bailey, and Cody. So these picks are interesting. These picks will definitely make the big alliance panic because of Memphis and Bailey, but I really doubt that anyone would use the power veto besides Janelle or Kaser. You know, they're just not going to stick their necks out there like that when Janelle and Kaser are public enemies number 1 and 2, or tied for first. Who knows? But after the picks were made, Danny is already telling Cody, like, Memphis better not throw it, because she figures he's trying to play the middle. It's just like with the safety suite competition. He would probably rather just throw it and not have to declare a side. But she's not happy about that, because if Memphis throws it, that means there's a better chance for Janelle or Kaser to win. So then Danny talks to Bailey, and they clear up the whole, like, Day, David, Nicole drama thing. Bailey's like, I didn't mean to offend her. And Danny's like, I know. She's just super sensitive about it. Blah. So then Excuse me. My digestive system can't take this season. So then Danny is asking Bailey, what would you do with the veto if you win? And Bailey says, I would leave it the same. Janelle already asked me this morning what I would do, and I told her that I would leave it the same. And Danny's like, you gotta play hard, girl. Like, you can't be throwing it. All right, so then Memphis was talking to Tyler. He also said he's gonna be going for the veto. And he said he would leave the nominations the same. So then Janelle and Kaser were chatting on the Sky Bridge. They were chatting for a while, but the important parts here. Janelle said Kevin is a loser. Oh, okay. So Kevin has been talking a lot of crap about Janelle and Kaser. And to be fair, like, Janelle and Kaser have been talking a lot of crap about Kevin. They're not happy with each other. So Janelle says Kevin's been complaining that we didn't want to work with him. And he freaking threw us under the bus, and he wasn't even in danger. So, like, why would we want to work with him? Doesn't make sense. Also, they were talking about how Bailey told both of them, I think, like, last night, how Unicole was throwing them under the bus last week. And they were pretty shocked to hear some of the things that she was saying and that she was going to be targeting them if she stayed. So they're just like, what the frig are we supposed to do? Like, we did everything we could for her. We put our own games on the line, and that's how she reacted. I mean, Kaser knows that a lot of that was probably because Unicole has not had the chance to heal from last season and all the, like, trauma that she went through. So he understands that. But at the same time, they're still like, what are we supposed to do? We can't win in here. So then they were talking about how the only person that they want to work with moving forward and they feel like they can actually trust is Bailey. They know that Day is double-crossing them. She tells everyone everything they've told her. Yeah, she's not with them. I mean, Bailey, to a certain extent, is also, like, sharing their crap, but Bailey is definitely closer to them than Day. So Kaser says the whole Day situation really upsets him. He's really disappointed about it because he thought that it was going to be different with her. Kevin, they knew he was going to be like that. They knew he was going to be sketchy. They were expecting it. But Day just really hurts. So Kaser says, we're just like the old parents in here trying to survive. All right. So then the feeds went down for the Power Veto competition. Just a reminder, the players were Tyler, Janelle, Kaser, and then the three extras, Memphis, Cody, and Bailey. And I didn't get to hear what the competition was yet, but we do have the results. And Cody won the Power of Veto. That's a bummer. So I think it's pretty safe to say Cody will not be using the Power of Veto. That ceremony should be on Monday, but I mean, I think we already know what's going to happen. And that's not good news for Janelle. I don't want to see Janelle or Kaser go. But that seemed, everybody wants Janelle to go over Kaser. And of course, that could change. But as of right now, not looking good for Janelle. And I have to say, it's going to be kind of interesting to see Kaser without Janelle, because we've seen multiple times already Janelle without Kaser, but we haven't seen the other way around. So it'll be interesting to see, would it be possible, for Kaser to kind of like slide under the radar if like a bigger target like Day emerges, or say maybe Kaser wins like the HOH or the Power Veto. Like, you never know what could happen, but yeah, it's going to be a sad week with either Kaser or Janelle leaving. So I'm also wondering, what's Christmas's punishment? Because as far as I know, she hasn't started that yet. I'm assuming she'll get it tonight, but we'll find out.
I hope it's to put a cast on her leg and have to scoot around the house on that.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? So yeah, that's our show. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And I want to thank all of our super chatters, because you guys are amazing.
Amazing.
We really could not do this without you. So we've got Alex Garza. Thank you so much. Jefferson Tucker. Thank you. Wow.
Someone's trying to bust in.
I hear that. Come on in, Bobo. Here he comes.
Enter.
Yay, come on. Come over here so everybody can see your beautiful smile. Bowie.
Come
He's like, I'm not gonna do tricks for you. I want to thank.
Why don't you? There you go.
Please. I want to thank. Is it Arkin?
Where?
Arkin?
Arcan?
Arcan 1785 or 175. Thank you so much. So generous.
Don't be afraid to correct us if we got it wrong. We really appreciate that.
Wrong a lot. ORPW90, aka Wilson Matthias. Oh, it's Wilson. Thank you so much. Amazing. Tatum Miller, thank you so much. Kansas James, thank you, Kansas. You are awesome. CA to VA, thank you. Christina Harper Black, thank you so much. Mr. Roybot, thank you
What a great name.
Yeah, that's a fun name. I like that a lot. Tool Tips with Tommy, thank you so much.
We are now his favorite vegans.
Oh, wow. We got a little promotion there. Thank you. Julie Smith and Nene. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Gio Epe. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Gio Epe was just the house guest of the day a few days ago.
Yes.
George, thank you. We really, really appreciate it.
We really do. Thanks, everybody.
AR Chan 1785. Oh, okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Oh, okay.
If you want to fix that on our list
Yeah.
for tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. So yeah. I don't know what to expect this week. Do you think there's any chance that maybe because things seem like they're so set right now that, like Tyler said, people will start scheming for the next few weeks and maybe things will like blow up and the target could change? I don't know.
The diary room is magically going to tell these guys, it's going to be boring or shit. You need to do something in there and shake things up.
The problem is, though, that Tyler is the power veto holder. So what are the chances of him changing his own nominations like that? Probably not great. Oh, I'm sorry, not Tyler, Cody.
It's Cody.
But Cody is basically Tyler.
But maybe Cody is going to see this as an opportunity to get somebody else out. What if Janelle makes a deal with the other side of the house now that she knows that?
I mean, I'm sure she's going to try, right?
It's never done until it's done.
Yeah, I didn't mean Tyler, guys. I meant Cody. Sorry about that. But anyway, that's where we're at. So
yeah, let's hope it's not going to be a big fart.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you again so much for watching. Thank you.
Puppet show will be.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say that.
Tonight.
Puppet show. We'll be up tonight.
Puppet show tonight.
Yes. I can
Don't
tell
know
you
what
guys,
time though.
It is not a song one. Don't worry, they're not all going to be song ones. This one is dialogue, and I think it's a lot of fun.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I gotta go because she needs her laptop to finish that.
I still have about an hour's worth of editing to do on it. So
hopefully you guys will enjoy that later.
Yeah, but I also have to eat.
Yeah, we need dinner. So we'll see you next time. Until then, much love.